What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be telling you guys and kind of showing you guys how to get any abilities on any gear that you want without wasting drink tickets and wasting way more time farming gear than you should be wasting just to get the gear you want and for a specific build for whatever weapon or whatever you're looking to build for your gear. So this is going to be for Splatoon 3. Now keep in mind, I have all the abilities updated for Splatoon 3. They said they might add more to the game in the future, so keep that in mind as well. I'll have links to this website and both the website and everything in the description down below if you guys want to go check it out yourself. Mainly doing this type of video as well. I was going to do this a long time ago, but there was a few other people that did this video, but I kind of want to do this video myself. Just because the few other people that actually did this type of video, they don't really explain it very well, and either it's a really fast video and it's really confusing, or they don't really explain it very well and it's kind of a shitty type video. So I'm gonna try to be as like 100% like real with you guys and like straightforward and simple as possible, and try to make sense and break it down in the most simplified way so most people can understand. If you guys do not know anything, or if I forget to mention something, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments down below as well. But pretty much what this is the gear seed recovery and the gear seed checker. Now, what a gear seed is, pretty much what it is it's a hidden number with like all the gear in the game. All you need is your brand, and then you need a couple abilities, which I'll talk about, to find your gear seed. And then you can go to the gear seed checker, and it'll actually show you all the possible roles and future roles for that gear, for whatever abilities it will roll in the future for when you get leveled up with EXP every single time. So, for example, now this also works with drinks as well, which I'll talk about. But for example, I'm going to be using my Splatfest tee for this. So you can use whatever gear you want. Like, there's brands here. You need to know the brand. You got to put the brand on your gear. If you don't know what your brand is, go into your gear info and it should be right there. Whatever brand it is, Firefin, whatever, Kraken, it doesn't really matter. But you got to put your brand here so know what brand it is. It doesn't say the specific gear. You just got to know the brand. Your slot 0 is your main ability. Alright, this is actually me from the future going back to actually make a little bit of a correction on this. I say that the first ability in slot number 0 is your main ability. That is not true. You don't even need to put your main ability down. It does not matter if you actually put your abilities starting in slot number 0 or slot number 1 all the way to number 10, wherever how that works. So if you do not want to put your abilities there or start at number 0 and just start number 1 onwards, that also works. It does not matter either way. You do not need to put your main ability down on your gear because it does not matter, and it's not the abilities that are actually being rolled. So I just want to clarify that before we're going forward, in case that confuses anybody. Alright, back to the video. Whatever the main ability for that gear is, it doesn't have ability doubler on this website, unfortunately, because I'm using a Splatfest tee for this example, so I left that blank. But normally you would have an ability there, whatever your main ability is, you put that right here. So, or if it's not on this list, just leave it completely blank. I know there's some that might not be on this list, so if it's not there, leave it completely blank. Apart from that, you go through and you put in at least 10 slots. To get the most accurate representation and accurate seed for this, you need 10 slots. So what I did is I farmed my gear, and I farmed every single time. I farmed all the way up to 3 ability slots, and after 3, I would just keep scrubbing my gear. It does not matter when you scrub, as long as you have 10 abilities, you just write them down or keep track of them, just so you can put them in on this website, and so you can get your gear seed to start out. This is what you do need to start and actually look at all the abilities and everything you're going to be getting in the future, as for future roles and stuff. So you do need 10 of them. Write them down. I don't know, whatever you want to do. At least for me, like I said, I wrote all these down. I had quick super jump, quick respawn, ink saver sub. After the 3rd one, I scrubbed my gear. For 4 slot, I got ink resistance, special charge, quick respawn, and I scrubbed my gear again. Like after every 3. Like I said, it doesn't matter when you scrub. You can farm one ability, and if you want to just farm one ability at a time and then go back to the square and scrub, that's completely fine. It does not matter when. It does not change anything. So that is pretty much what you need to do. You can do more than 10 as well. You can go all the way up to 13 to give you a little bit more of an accurate representation and more of accurate reading, but it doesn't really matter, at least from my experience of what I've found and what I've heard. So, and there's also a drink. What this drink option is if you're farming these abilities with a drink. So if you're farming, like say if I was farming this gear and I had quick super jump and my drink, I also had a drink that was active at the time. If you have a drink that is active at the time when you're rolling these abilities, when you are farming these, you got to put the drink down. If you do not put it down, it won't work correctly. So keep that in mind as well. So if you are farming your abilities in whatever piece of gear you're going to try to get your gear seed for at the start of this, if you have a drink active at the current time, you got to put that down for however long it lasts. If it only lasts for like 3 of these slots, then you can put it down for 3, and it goes inactive after like the 4th slot and it runs out, then you don't have to put it for the rest, but you have to have it for at least 3 of them. So it just gives you a more accurate reading, and you need that, otherwise it'll screw everything up. So also, another thing I want to say before I get into this, you will not get banned or do anything like that get anything like that for this as well. What this is, it is just just a way to find out your future rolls. Everything, you're not going into the game, you're not manipulating the data, which you can get banned for, which Nintendo bans people for. They actually had a ban wave a couple weeks ago because people are actually going into the game and actually adding chunks to their game with a glitch, which a lot of people got banned for, rightfully so. But like, you're not going into the game, you're not manipulating anything. This is just a way to find out the RNG and being able to see what abilities you're going to be rolling in the future on your gear. It doesn't do anything like that, so do not be afraid to get banned. You're not going to be getting banned or anything like that from using this. It's just pure to make it easier on everybody that's farming gear and make it so you don't waste drink tickets willy-nilly. So after that, once you got 10 of your abilities, you will go down here and you can refine the count. I just had it at 10,000. It'll take about 30 seconds up to a minute, and then you go for search seed. It'll spin and it'll show you a number, and then right here is the number I got, which was the possible seed. It'll give you a possible seed, and you copy and paste this, and then that's when we move to this next page. Now this page right here, this is just to find your seed recovery. This is when you're first starting to get your seed code, so you can go to this next page and actually start looking at the abilities you're going to be getting. So, and there's a database too. I'm not sure what that's for. I'm not going to talk about that very much because I think that's with a part of the website or something. But now right here, if you want to have a drink available too, this drink, well, actually I'll talk about in a little bit, but this is with Squid Force, so I'll put Squid Force down. Where is the current seed? I gotta erase that. I'm gonna put my seed in, copy, paste my seed. Here's my seed that I got from my checker, that I got from the other page. So that you copy and paste that right here in your current seed. It'll put you up to current seed where you are on your gear currently. Number of slots, I usually go to 100 because that's the best. And then you go display results. So right here is where you're gonna actually be getting all your results. So keep in mind this as well. I have this for the Splatfest tee, which I didn't put like an actual ability in for, which I don't think you even really need your main ability. You can put it in. Like I said, I think there's some of the main abilities are on here. I haven't checked all of them. You don't even, I don't think, really even need your main ability, just mainly to find like, the sub rolls, because in the end, your main ability doesn't really matter anyways. It's not the thing that's constantly changing, so I don't think that really even matters, even if you don't want to put that down. But right here, the last thing that I actually farmed for in this build, which I'll actually check right now, I have written down right here, was actually special power up. So after this last roll, the seed after this roll, the roll that I just had, which was special power up, it's going to be special charge up. And then after that, in the row, I'm going to have 3 ink resistances in a row. So that's, if I'm farming for ink resistance, that's something I would want. Like, that's why this is also really cool for learning like what you're going to be getting and not having to waste drink tickets, because you can actually look at what you're going to be getting and it's actually going to get rolled in future rolls for your abilities. And you might get like, actually, like here I got 2 sub resistance up in a row, like I got 2 sub power in a row. Like sometimes you won't even need a drink ticket if you're farming stuff. You might actually just get really lucky and you can just farm all the way to a certain point where you can actually get like 3 of a certain ability in a row. Like right here, for example, which is actually really cool. Like I'll get ink resistance 3 times in a row with this. So that's pretty much what it pretty much is. Now let's check if we actually add a drink. So I'm gonna add a drink just so you guys can actually see this. Adding a drink to this, like every ability as well, like depending on whatever ability you have here, like certain abilities like Squid Force actually favors ink resistance up, which is actually the brand's favor. I think it's usually the brands, most of the brands are some that are neutral, like Cuddle Gear and Grizzco and stuff, and Amiibo, I think. Like some of them, usually most of the gear have like a favored ability and a non-favored ability. One that you roll way less, that has a less of a roll chance than normal, and one that has more of a likely drop chance. So like Squid Force, like I said, has more ink resistance up chance. So that's why we got this in a row, even without a drink, which is pretty impressive. So now if I want to put a drink in here, it'll actually put the results in. It'll actually put like different results in. So I'm gonna put Action Berry Twist in, and now let's look at what the results will be now. So if I put Action Berry Twist in, here's what the results will be, pretty much. So it does change the results for this. It actually does, but you can actually see if you have like an actual with a drink where it'll actually change your stuff. Like, cause right here, roll 15 and roll 16, I'll have a intensify action up. Like you got a lot more intensify action now. It doesn't really replace abilities. It just makes it so you have a higher chance of getting those in the RNG. So that's kind of what the drinks really do. It doesn't really increase the odds, but it makes it more likely to actually be able to get them in future rolls, if that makes sense. So, also another thing, if you're actually rolling this gear as well, remember to keep updating your seeds. So either you update the seed or you copy and paste this so you can keep on putting it in. And after you get that ability, then it'll actually update, so you don't have to go back to the beginning and go to the other page and pretty much go throughout the entire process of finding your gear seed again. Because right now you have your gear seed. Here's the next ability you're going to be getting after your current roll. So that's what you're going to be getting is going to be ink recovery up. So right here's your seed. I would copy this 0x133 number right here, and that is your next seed. And then every time you roll a new ability, it updates. So you copy the one in front of it, and that way you can keep your seed currently updated. And then these ones will disappear eventually, and you'll keep on going down the line, so you can keep seeing in the future of what you're going to be rolling. So overall, just pretty cool. It's pretty cool to actually see. It's one of those things which I wish I knew how to actually use a lot sooner, which my builds are pretty simple anyways. This is mainly for people that like really like to make diverse builds or want like a ton of builds for like every single weapon in the game. At least for me, like as a player, it is helpful for me, just mainly because to not waste a bunch of random drink tickets and be able to see what I can actually get before I use a drink ticket, or if I need to, and how the odds would be with or without one, and what the rolls would really be. But like if you're building a lot of gear and stuff, like this is really helpful. It really is. That way you just don't use as much resources. And like even right here, like if I go all the way up to roll 31, with a drink, I'm getting 3 intensify actions in a row. So that's with a roll. So if I wanted 3 pures of intensify actions on my Splatfest tee, it would work. So I would get 3 of those in a row with a drink at that point, which I think the drinks only last for 20. So you'd have to have 2 drinks. And you'd have to refresh them. So keep that in mind as well. But like as it, for example, right there. So just kind of, you also know how long it'll take to actually get 3 in a row, and whether you want to wait that long or if you want to just farm for like 2 in a row and then use ability chunks to get the 3rd one, depending on how much time you have to farm. It's also really cool that way. It's like right here, I get 3 in a row again with 66, 67, and 68 if I want to wait that long and farm that many abilities. Like, granted, this will take forever. Like, it will take a long time. You'll be farming forever if you do want to go all the way to this point. And you have to have a lot of money because, like I said, this doesn't really matter either. The rolls will not reset as far as I know if you scrub the gear after like just rolling one ability, or if you go all the way up to the 3rd one and then you scrub your gear. So it should not matter at all. So it just comes down to how much money you have, and if you want to go all the way up to the third ability every time and go 3 at a time. Then scrub your gear and just go like 3 at a time, which still will take a long time. But apart from that, hopefully this helped you guys. It's really helpful, and hopefully I explained everything. I tried to be as simple and straightforward as possible. I know there's a lot of other videos. There's a few other videos, at least I watched, that were either didn't really explain enough, or they were kind of, I know, really confusing, at least for me. So hopefully I kind of learned this myself. Like, I kind of used those and had some other people that had like a tutorial and stuff, and I kind of learned that way. And I've been using this over the last like month or two now, and I'm actually ready to put this together for you guys as a video. So hopefully this was helpful. If you get, like I said, if you guys have any questions or anything, if I did not explain in this video, let me know in the comments down below. I will be replying to pretty much all the comments. So you guys like these types of videos, leave a like, share the video if it helped you out. Hopefully it helped a bunch of other people out. So share the video so it gets as many people as possible. And I'll hopefully do more of these in the videos if we get more videos like this in the future, if we get more of this type of stuff. So like I said, I'll have the link to this website and everything in the description as well. Go down there and check it out. Apart from that, I'm going to get out of here. Peace out, everybody, and thanks for stopping by.